Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time with Ashe AD Carry. And I am recording this post-commentary, but it's been, well, this is on the old patch. It's a game that I couldn't quite finish editing in time to upload at the end of the week. But lane matchups are as follows. I'm Ashe partnered with Braum bot against Graves and Leona. We have Darius top against Wukong, Ari mid against Azir, and Vi in the jungle against Lee Sin.
How do you like the curves?
So after this game I will be playing on the new patch, and I should have enough games for most of the week. Let's see, I have the top, the mid, the jungle. Yeah, I do have the support game. So yeah, actually the support game will be the last one on the patch since I recorded that one at the same time, but there I'm doing the mouse over for Ashe's moves, I believe. Passive is focus. After you get stacks for not attacking. When you reach 100 stacks, your next auto attack is a guaranteed crit. The rate you accumulate stacks scales with level, and it also starts at the base value of your crit. And lo and behold, there's a dragon coming straight for us. Don't know how many people actually know about that, but at 1:15 it appears. It's on screen for about 10 seconds in the top left corner. Okay, it's actually there for 15, it looked like. Q is Frost Shot, toggle type move. You pay a little bit of mana per arrow. What it does, it has a slow effect on your auto attacks. The magnitude of the slow scales with the rank of the move, so you have incentive to max that second. W is Volley. It's a cone AoE type move. You fire a volley of arrows out and inflicts a slow, I believe. And it has a 1:1 AD ratio, making it not something to be underestimated. Your E is Hawk Shot. You send out a hawk to scout the area for you. It also has the passive effect giving you 3 gold in addition to your last hit. And your ult is Crystal Arrow. It's technically it's a global skill shot. It does magic damage, scales off AP sadly, and it stuns whoever you happen to hit. So right there I think I actually had a bit of a lag spike, but not the end of the world, and I think the rest of the game is actually decent. And you can see from the way Braum is shooting, I don't remember if this was recorded during maintenance or what, but yeah. So right here, Graves is going deep. I had to pop heal. We got the Braum stun to go into effect. We force his heal. There's the exhaust. And volley, first blood. Sadly, Braum did waste his flash, but not the end of the world. So right there we got to punish Graves' aggression, and puts us in quite the dominant situation. Plus, how often is it that you get to see any fights at level 1 these days?
I always take the high ground.
But one of the reasons why I wasn't in any rush to update this is I believe the last Ashe game I uploaded was against Graves. I don't remember who the supports were. It could be pretty much a carbon copy. Right there I'm trying to ping for Braum to last hit the cannon for me. He has the relic shield. The new execute effect is not in this patch, so I have to make sure to communicate with my support and just work things out. So with Hawkshot, my last hits are going to give me an edge. Even if I go even, if I actually pull ahead, it's going to be even worse for Graves. And not to mention, it's pretty bad when he dies before level 6, because he's all about snowballing. So he's at a disadvantage. He's not going to hit 6 before us unless something goes wrong, and it's going to really delay his power spikes in terms of items, because he's not going to be able to get the kill gold that he'd normally get, especially with Leona as a support.
Do not confuse mercy for
And I can't believe I missed that one. I was probably cursing while I was actually recording that.
I won't lead us astray.
So right here we just need to keep vision. Lee Sin can do early ganks, so you don't really have any idea when he's going to be paying you a visit. You just gotta be prepared. Right there I'm trying to remind him he has a stack, hit the cannon. Leona, I guess, tried to zone, but that didn't really work out for her. And sadly there went my passive. So Braum manages to get that, and then I don't have to worry about missing the last hit. Lucky me.
Requires a steady hand.
Plus, if it gets missed, I can just rage at the support, so it's a win-win. As for our buddy Graves here, he's in a bad spot. They give me the kill, so that's 2 for me, including the first blood gold that I've yet to spend. And he's even worse off than he was before. And sadly I don't remember how long this video is offhand, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a quick game either. You'll know if you look, but key thing is I now have the BF sword. I can't actually pick anything else up, but it's still going to add a ton of damage in my volleys and allow me to just start poking them down. But you can see from our team composition, we're all about the pick composition. We have the Ari Charm, the Crystal Arrow, the Assault and Battery. I don't know what the hell Darius's pull is called. And on top of all that, we have the Concussive Blows of Braum and even his ult for Disengage. So there is a certain level of coordination going on here. At least I was under the impression of it. If this all happened randomly, that would still be pretty cool, but
United, we are stronger.
not nearly as graceful. So I managed to pick up the cannon with the volley, and here I just have to keep my distance until Braum gets here because Leona is not a support to take lightly. And right here we get to do a little bit of a number on Graves. Sadly, Leona does arrive in time to rescue his ass, and the exhaust forces me to pull back, otherwise he was going to be giving up another kill. Oh, they got me here. Leona got it. So, the Eclipse, I think that's what her W is called, gives her a lot of tank stats, and sadly without boots I don't really have a way to get away from her when she engages. Now that I have the boots, it's going to give me a little bit of leeway.
The high ground.
And right there, Leona burnt her flash. Key thing is, even though I did die, Graves did not get the kill, so he's not going to be getting a gold edge or anything to compensate his disadvantage. And he also needs to go back, otherwise he's going to die, which means he's going to miss even more minions than right now. As for this, we're making a show of force, just in case someone is trying to invade the jungle.
What is hidden?
Right there you got to see the hawk shot, and the coast is clear, so Vi can go ahead and take that, she can give it to Ari. It's up to her.
We are one people.
But as someone who jungles a lot, I can definitely say if you help your jungler can help you. If you don't help your jungler, don't be surprised if the jungler is unable to help you.
Miss.
As for this, I can let Braum try to cash out most of his stacks, or I can try to leave it frozen here so that Graves has to be in an undesirable position to last hit. I should be getting Crystal Arrow within the next minute, so it's going to be more pressure for us, and Leona shouldn't have Solar Flare for her. I'd hope at least 30 seconds after, but no real guarantee. So right there, Braum has his shield. That's going to interrupt whatever Graves tries to send my way, and I did lose a lot of health there due to the Leona passive, but I can poke them down better than they can poke me down. And even if they do try to push this into tower, I have a BF sword to help with the last hitting, and I also have Braum with his Targons. Sadly, I don't have the Vamp Scepter yet to give me the additional, what is it, 8% lifesteal? So I'm just relying on the 3% for my runes. But if you're wondering why I don't go for the Duran Blade, that's part of the reason, since I would rather take the runes and then just try to speed up my build. It does mean you have less health early on, since you don't get the 70 hit points, I think it is, that comes with the Duran Blade. But I went into this lane expecting more to be on the defensive to farm up. Just the fact that I got kills puts me considerably ahead.
Peace requires a steady hand.
As for this, you can see that they're starting to get aggressive, but Leona doesn't really have a way to regenerate the damage that I can deal to her, so yeah, right there, I missed that one. All in all, I just have to wait for her to get into a bad spot, or I can just wait for Graves to run out of mana, and then I can turn stuff around on him. Key thing is I need to avoid the buckshot whenever possible, since that is a good source of his damage.
My aim is steady.
So Vi wants to come bot, and really it's one of her best places to gank because the Crystal Arrow followed up with concussive blows, we can lay down a lot of CC on someone. Right here I went for the Vamp Scepter, I also went for the dagger. Sadly I don't have enough to finish the Zerker Greaves, so I have to go without that. It does mean I have less speed to try to engage the enemy. That is a little bit of a bad thing since Assault and Battery is going to drag Vi a short distance. And Graves also has Quick Draw to create some distance between us and him as the Assault and Battery goes down, so take that as you will. As for Braum, he just ate a little bit of damage.
I won't lead us astray.
Since he has the Targons, he should be able to regen most of this. Might take him a little while though because of how changes went through. Not really a fan of the regen changes, to be honest, as you'll see when I get to the top lane video this week. Not gonna spoil that one for you guys.
Make it count.
Has been slain.
Do not confuse mercy for weakness.
Sadly, I did eat a turret shot there. The exhaust went down on Graves, but he's too far back to really hurt. And there's LeBlanc. Or wait, not LeBlanc, Ahri. So Lee is in a bad spot. Right there I burned Flash. And Ahri manages to get in here to secure the kill. But without her shield, Leona is very vulnerable, and she has to back out until it's back up. And it also doesn't help that she's out of mana. But for the time being, Graves is kind of a sitting duck. It would be in his best interest to go back, because if he doesn't have his support, we're going to kill him. Braum and I'll just walk around to the other side of the tower, or one on each side, and we can just poke him down with a Q and the volley. I don't remember what his Q is called, to be honest. And the volley is not to be taken lightly. If you look at my AD, that plus the base, he might be able to survive 2. But Darius kills Wukong and dies himself, so we had a trade top. Bot turret goes down. And we are in position to take the dragon on the next trip bot. Right here I can get the Zerker Greaves, and I still want the Infinity Edge, even though I do have the Vamp Scepter already.
We're on the right path.
So, Graves, he has double Duran.
Has destroyed a turret.
I have boots on him, but he has quick draw, so those kind of cancel out. The thing that doesn't cancel out, though, would be the Crystal Arrow.
Stand together.
And they found the ward. One of the tricks I've gotten used to kind of doing these days is leaving a ward if you have one to spare. Like if I use my pink ward trick, I'll leave my trinket ward over by the Wraith camp, so when the jungler smite clears those, the thing is immediately lost. And as for this, Azir jumped all the way over to me. They didn't really put up much of resistance to him, but yeah, this is not going well. We lost Vi, but we got to kill Lee, so that's going to limit their ability to take the dragon. Meanwhile, since Azir burned all of his stuff fighting me, he should be a sitting duck for Ahri, but she's out of charges for her ult. She has tier 2 boots, and I couldn't see what Azir has. Oh, hell, he went the wrong way. And down he goes, to the red buff, it looked like. As for Wukong, it's not going to be the monkey at the moment. So I fired my arrow trying to snipe him, but his decoy blocked it, assuming he didn't hide in the brush. all in all, since everyone just went back, it's not like there's going to be a lot of pressure to where I'd need it. It could come in handy for the dragon, maybe, but depends on how things play out.
Never lose focus.
And I kind of hope you didn't hear that sound in the background just a second ago.
Do not confuse mercy for weakness.
As for this, I don't know if Graves knows the crystal arrow is down, but it's just I have the attack speed to kind of trade with him. And did we get that? Yeah, we got that. So from this we could try to do something, it's just we're on the run at the moment. As for Lee, he's on the business end of a volley and goes down, but he doesn't have any buffs for me to pick up. And I go ahead and fall back a bit because I don't know who's where. I don't know where the burst is going to be coming from, since both Graves and Nazir are not to be taken lightly. And I warded the tri-brush in the event I could try to pick one of them off trying to come into the lane, but it's not like there's a tower here for them to protect, so no real consequence for going whichever the hell way they want to go. Darius gets a tower, he kills Leona, dies to Azir. Ahri has her ult, but once again the long-range arrow missed. May seem like a waste now, but they're not as important at the moment. Come late game, I will be a little bit more careful. But Ahri dies to Wukong, there's the Cyclone, he dies to Vi. And there's just too many of them in too good shape. Braum is on his last legs, to be honest. So, Vi engages. There's the kick, and it nails both of us. Azir sends his ult over the wall, and Lee picks me off. That wasn't his ult, it was his Q. So, once the Azir tower came up, we were kind of in a bad spot anyway. It's just, I was kind of under the assumption it was already down. I thought he had used it in a different lane, but apparently not. Anyway, I got the Infinity Edge. It's going to help me a lot in the coming skirmishes, especially if I can time my passive with it. Like, I actually want the passive shot to hit a champion. As for this, you can see they're in the Dragon Pit from the Buckshot special effects, and it goes down right now. But, oh, she got him. So yeah, if he was planning to quick draw over the wall to safety. But Charm is a nasty CC spell. So right now my KDA is 333, and I have about half of the game left to improve that. I'm assuming the tri-brush is warded there, since the monkey kind of got a load of me coming at him and turned around. As for that, I fired the volley into the golem pit trying to get them on the move. I don't know if they've been cleared to really deal some damage, but a little bit of extra harass and making sure they can't retreat right there is always nice. But now that I have the Infinity Edge, the next thing I want to get is the Blade of Avarice. The Shiv is pretty good on Ashe because you can time the actual static discharge with the focus to guarantee the full crit damage, and then you factor in the Infinity Edge passive, so should do 250 magic damage before MR. And seeing how not everyone seems to take MR blues these days, it's more effective than I was actually initially led to believe. Plus it also helps that the Shiv gives you an additional 1% movement speed compared to the Phantom Dancer, so it helps Ashe where positioning is all the more important, since you can't actually like blink away like Ezreal or Corki, or even dashing like Lucian and Graves. So right here we can get this because the movement speed helps, like I said a second ago, and it's also going to give us a little bit of vision. While the dragon is down, still something denied from the enemy. So we can drop that ward around their red to see if anyone's coming our way. And Darius goes ahead and picks up the monkey. But otherwise, I have options for what I want my next full item to be, because if you've seen my games, I usually like to pick up one of the components, either the Zeal or the Blade of Avarice, depending on what exactly I'm building, and then going into a different item since I have the crit assistance I'm looking for. Either Bloodthirster or Last Whisper. For this game, let's see, they have Lee for a tank, Leona, and Leona has her Eclipse, so... Ooh. Yeah, we're on the business end of the Phalanx. And the Azir jump plus Graves' burst takes me down. As for this, they literally just burnt everything, so as long as Ahri doesn't wuss out, that should be kind of easy, but there's Wukong to the rescue. Oh, Darius is dead. One of the downsides of watching this after, well, so long after recording it, since I can't tell, like, I didn't remember if Darius had gone down. Since I'm doing post-commentary, I can't actually hear the game sounds. So I don't know what happened with Ahri, but pretty much a guaranteed tower for them. As for Darius, he could do a flash pull. Right there you see the Azir tower, and I need to take that down so we can start applying some pressure. Sadly, without attack speed or AD, it's not going to be a quick process. Don't really know why he went in that deep.
Swiftly now.
But I can go ahead and pick up this. Since I have the Blade of Avarice, I'm now getting +5 per last hit. The 3 from Hawkshot, 2 from the Blade, and then I'm also getting the passive gold generation of the Blade. So even though they're winning the team fights, I'm still going to remain kind of relevant. And his quick draw is a flop, but he has flash to guarantee his escape. Still, the arrow is about 1 minute cooldown versus his 5-minute flash. Putting the notification in there for my teammates and also a timer so that we know when to do it again. As for this, I was looking to see if the Frost Shot actually does more to the Scuttle Crab than without. I couldn't really tell. I need to test it a little bit more to verify for sure. But that's a little part of Azir that's so freaking annoying, how he can use his soldiers to clear wards for him. Ahri goes in a little deep and pays for it with her life.
Stand together.
An enemy has been slain.
And we're in a bit of a bad spot here. So, like I was saying, with the game being on the previous patch, that means that they get the second dragon, or all of the old dragon bonuses are still in effect. So you snowball a lot harder by getting the dragon in this patch than in the ones later on. Still the full 8%, and then you push harder afterwards. But right there, I asked my team to kind of start using their heads. Bit of a long shot, yes. Darius is pushing the top lane, and really there's nothing we can do at the moment. We just lost Vi, we don't have Braum. It's really just the two of us, and well, it's up to them on who they want to send back, and what they want to push, etc.
I always take the high ground.
But I can go ahead and go over here to try to clean this up. The gold definitely would be appreciated. Sadly, I did miss the siege minion, so I lose the increased gold value of that, plus my additional +5 per hit. I remember when the breakpoints are for when the super minions spawn 2 out of every 3, or not the super minions, the siege minions spawn every 2 out of 3 waves. But it should be around this point. which means it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to rack up some gold and then get some items.
Let's see how close they can
Joys of
get.
being AD carry, you need items to deal some real damage. Big ones being the Infinity Edge and the Last Whisper, but... well, the Last Whisper depends game for game, I guess, since not every game you have people who are smart enough to build armor. Right there you can see everyone closing in on Ari. Vi and Darius show up. And I think I don't know, I did get the... yeah, Azir down. So here I get to lay into the tower and I have my teammates to help me take it down. So I don't really know what to think of the Azir towers. The one thing that I don't like is that they're worth gold, so you have incentive. Well, you get gold regardless of whether or not you kill it because it self-destructs, which is where I have some reservations. I could understand if it gave gold for actually destroying it, but when it falls apart on its own, it's a little bit of BS. So DFG lands, Charm misses, but everything else is good enough to finish Graves off. As for this, the death timers aren't really long enough for us to take anything more off of it, plus we need to start getting dragon control and ideally Saint Lee back by stealing his jungle.
We're on the right path.
So, like usual, we can pick up the Scuttle Crab as we go through. And I didn't notice what enchantment Vi is using, so hopefully she's using Warrior and not Devour. Even though this was back when Devour was still really freaking awesome.
Make it count. We are one people.
So I need a little bit more. I wasn't really paying attention to the numbers there a second ago, but I could get the Last Whisper, and what would I have left over? I think it's 15. I don't remember if I wanted to go straight into the... well, I probably did want to go straight into Bloodthirster. My other option is to go into a defensive item kind of early. For this team comp, I'm going to need a Banshee Veil, or a Guardian Angel, one of those two. Sadly, the team fights start without me, but I managed to get the Crystal Arrow there. And I don't really know why they were so far up when I was clearly visible down bot, especially to the enemy. Basically, it's the lapses in judgment that I see all too damn often these days. So it kind of looks like they're going to the Baron Pit. But Lee does pay with his life. And there's Vi, there's Graves, Azir is there. Okay, I think I wanted to go straight into the Bloodthirster if I didn't buy anything that back. Shield definitely will come in handy for dealing with bursts like Azir and Graves. Plus, if there wasn't a lot of armor on the enemy team, I'm not really paying attention to their builds at the moment. I can kind of delay it. You can always pause the video if you want to see it yourself. But if we can get just one dragon, that's going to give us the bonus AD and AP to help keep us in this game, so... it would be nice if my team could start doing something.
I think not. We're on the right path.
And the monkey's in a bad spot. We force the decoy out of him. Lee shows up to clear out my ward, and well, he's not in a pleasant spot. Sadly, the arrow doesn't connect, but team fight time. And this time I'm far enough back to where they can't hit me that easily. So Wukong goes down, we lose Braum. Azir is in a really bad spot. He flashes over the wall, but I flash after him. And the volley secures a double kill. Lee and Azir. So I rounded the corner, ended up eating a little bit of buckshot, but Graves knew he wasn't getting out that way. He has to go back, and it's our dragon. We can finally get the bonus AD and AP. And it looks like Darius just went ahead and let himself into the base. So Ari secured that.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
And there goes the inhibitor. But we knew this was here because I flashed over the wall and it wasn't there. Then the map marker was that indicated it respawned during the period where we walked over the dragon and killed it. And the red buff is going to make me all the more annoying. Plus I'm sitting on 4,000 gold now, so I definitely need to go back kind of soon and go ahead and pick up probably both the Bloodthirster and the Last Whisper in one go. Kinda wish I actually did the mouse over on the Blade of Avarice and the Hawkshot to see how much gold I actually picked up this way. But there's the Bloodthirster. Last Whisper.
We must press on.
And I'm a lot more dangerous than I was 1 minute ago. And the game is starting to wind down from the look of things. Just the one dragon is pretty huge, even though we don't have the increased pushing power that would help with our siege. Just the raw AD and AP is really, really helpful. Especially for someone like Ari who's about the assassination, the 8% does a lot more than some people probably realize. And I have to say that because I've seen games where the jungler just flat out seems to ignore objectives, which is kind of how you lose a game before you even start it. As for Darius, he's taking some damage. He can kind of afford to do that, and he also has Braum there for support. Ari and I can kind of poke from behind them, and Vi is of course our pick. So as requested, I drop the arrow to nail Azir. I go down kind of quickly because my team... yeah. So the good news is, with everything wasted on me, my team can go ahead and just clean that up. Braum also goes down. We lost Darius, but we still have Ari, so... I was kind of hoping Braum or Darius could have done something, but... one of the Nexus turrets goes down. We can go ahead and pick up an inhibitor. And it's just one more hole in their base that they have to worry about for the rest of the game now. Sadly, I don't have enough to finish the Shiv. Will be pretty helpful for poking since I can use my auto attack to deal the guaranteed crit, my AD, the magic damage from the Shiv, and I can follow it up with a volley for even more punishment. I think I actually showcased that in the other Ashe video. This one doesn't look like it's going to go long enough. But you can see my crits are taking some pretty good pieces out of that frog. Plus hitting it gives me a little bit of HP for the Bloodthirster shield. Not exactly a lot, but every bit helps. As for this, I kind of wanted to do a repeat of the previous Ashe Graves game where we had the duel in bot lane, but he backed off. He's no fun, I know.
We're on the right path.
So, while there's the makings of a team fight going on, the good news is Graves is not quite there, at least yet. So, it's not going to go as bad as the ones before it.
Work from afar.
But you can see Darius and Graves going at it under the tower. And once all the stacks are built up, Graves was pretty much dead. As for Leona, you can see how annoying that freaking shield of hers is. Lee goes ahead and eats the crystal arrow. We get the not shockwave, the solar flare, and Ari gets the kill. So Braum volunteers to tank this. He goes ahead and uses Face of the Mountain, and we can go ahead and pick this off pretty quickly. Sadly, minion wave's too far away for us to continue the siege.
Swiftly now.
But we can go ahead and deny Lee and his team a little bit more jungle creep. And it looks like my team is kind of proxying. So Leona went in, really bad on her part. She got charmed, stunned, smited, dead. And the good news is I got a couple of shots in there to keep my Bloodthirster shield going, which just got depleted. But Graves went down, cost us the Braum ult. As for Azir, he can go ahead and scoot out with his E. Not really much I can do about that, but final inhibitor. Top one has recovered, but the key thing is it's not that hard to take it back down. Now we can just overrun the base with all the super minions. Otherwise, Wukong goes in, he kills Ahri. And right here I was thinking they were going to stick to me like they have in the previous fights, which is why I flashed. But they're kind of sitting ducks once Darius gets them. I go ahead and pick off Lee. And this is the end of the game.
Do my best work from afar.
So we just gotta wait for the minions to come in to get the last...
Has destroyed
Ah, he popped a turret. So Darius goes ahead and exposes the Nexus, but
your team has destroyed
I don't know if he actually could have gotten out of that or not.
an ally.
Thing is, I want to go ahead and get the next dragon, because if they get the third one, that's movement speed, that's going to make it easier for them to jump on me. And even though with their base completely open, all 11 towers down, we're not going to get as much return for this, it's just denying it from the enemy. Because since Ashe doesn't have any sort of escape, positioning is all the important. And to prove that, all you have to do is look at her Q. It's all about limiting the enemy's movement. There I just had to make a strategic call to do the same thing. So with the second one, I am able to clear these a little bit more quickly, and I can go back to get my final item. And I was hoping the crit would have finished him off, but no dice. Kinda got trolled by the RNG there. I can go ahead and pick up the Shiv. And I could have sold the potions, or do I sell them? Yeah, I do sell them. And I go for the Banshee Veil. It's gonna help for the CC that would come out of Wukong with his knockup, maybe the Azir Phalanx.
Inhibitor is respawning soon. A summoner has
And Braum is back.
an enemy has been slain.
Swiftly now.
Graves goes down to Ahri, and can I make it in time to actually be over there? Yeah, I'll make it in time. It takes about 30 seconds to cross the map. Then you factor in I have the tier 2 boots, the Shiv. It's not as hard. But Baron Call was made, we can go there and help Vi.
Let's see how close.
And with my 5 items, the all offensive ones, I can definitely take some pieces out of the Baron. Then you factor in Vi's HP shred, down the thing goes, and our siege just got much, much worse. Ahri goes ahead and kills Azir. And right there when they saw the Baron buffed minions, I think the enemy team kind of knew it was over. So here's the final push. There's the solar flare. Braum helps Ahri. I go ahead and pick off Leona. Wukong does whatever he can, but not really that much. Nice thing about Braum and myself to kind of kite him. And that's Ashe AD carry. Thoughts and observations will be going in the description. Tomorrow will be the last 420 game, and then 421 starts. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.